Keeping an organized home shouldn't be difficult, so I did some research and it turns out that people with organized homes tend to do 5 key things every day to keep their homes under control. By the end of this video, you should have 5 ideas that either you're already doing or could easily be implemented to help you keep your home more organized. Over the last year, I have added all of these organizational habits to my day, and I've seen some really amazing benefits that have helped me to keep my home under control, and I'm super excited to share those with you as well. Each day after my morning routine, breakfast is all done and cleaned up, I head back into my bedroom to do a quick tidy up. This usually takes less than 5 minutes, which brings me to my first key thing that people do with organized homes. They have a place for everything. So every single item in their home has a place to live, and that way it's very easy to put things away because you know exactly where it's going to be going. And of course, we are not perfect by any means, but I've found if I do have a place for everything, for instance, shoes here go into a certain box, I know that it's easy to grab those and where I should head to put them away and not be confused walking around wondering where should I put these shoes, or leaving them by the door to collect dirt and dust and possible spiders. So just having a place for everything in our home really helps with tidying up and staying organized. We recently had some family come and visit us and stay for about a week, and we had transformed my youngest son's bedroom into a guest bedroom. I can link that video below because it was a really fun project that my mom and I worked on. But once the guests left, it was time to turn this room back into my youngest son's bedroom, and I decided to take that opportunity to do a lot of decluttering and also rearrange how his bedroom is organized and laid out, which brings me to the next tip that most people with organized homes do each day, and that is to declutter as soon as they see it is needed. So we ended up getting rid of the changing table. We also got rid of a little side table that we had stashed in the corner, and that gave us more room to move the furniture in a way that really works for my youngest son. He can get to everything, and it's really simplified this room overall. But the tip really is just to declutter as soon as you realize that you don't need something. Here, I'm also going through this bin and I'm finding some old bibs that I hadn't seen and they were stashed away. So I'm getting rid of them right away. I'm putting them into my box that's going to go to the donation location quite soon. And I usually do a drop off at least once a month. And then I don't have to think about saving decluttering for a certain time of the year. I think one of the biggest myths that I've heard in the decluttering and even the minimalist realm, I guess you could say, is that you declutter one time and then you're done for the rest of your life. At least I was under this impression when I first started to declutter and minimize my stuff, but I quickly realized that decluttering is an ongoing process, and we live in a home with 5 of us here and 3 young kids. They're growing, they're changing, and things come in and out of our lives. And I think that's the whole key, is just to realize what you're currently using, what you need, and letting all that other stuff that maybe you previously used go if you're not currently using it. And this brings me to my next tip and thing that people do to stay organized, which is to have storage solutions. So for instance, this side table here has 2 drawers in it. I could have picked a side table that didn't have any drawers, and then I would be out this whole wall for storage space. So I think that is a great tip if you are looking to get organized. Look for furniture that has some organizing solutions built in. We have a bench that you can sit on, but then also it has the cubby holes below where we can put a few baskets. And I don't think it's a good idea to get so many shelves, at least in my home, to where we're going to put a bunch of clutter on there. But I do feel if we can have some built-in storage in a hallway, for instance, like where I keep all of our sheets. My husband made a little closet area here that previously did not exist, and this is just the perfect place to be able to store all of our linens. So if you can find some effective storage solutions, that really helps. As my kids get older, I currently have a 10-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old. I find that they change and things change, and we constantly have to reevaluate everything and see what's working and make changes. We recently redid our boys' room, and I can link that video down below, but we wanted to take advantage of the vertical space, and I feel like we did that really well. We installed these shelves, my husband made these, and we added an extra sturdy shelf up here, measuring for the correct size bins. But one of the most popular questions I received that I forgot to answer in that video is what we did with the hanging clothing. And we decided to get rid of the bar because, let's be honest, my kids never hung anything up, and then because they're a little short, they would pull items down and the hangers would break all the time. So by solving that problem, we decided to get these bins, and this is where we put the hanging clothing. And usually we were just hanging jackets and sweatshirts, things that don't really matter if they get wrinkled or anything like that. So this is an extra one that is currently empty, but one side is my older son's bins and the other one is the younger son's bins. And what I'm going to do right now is just use a piece of Scotch tape and my marker to write their names on the bins, just because I want it to be very clear for them whose bin is whose. Also, I'm thinking of taking the long pants, now that it's getting cooler outside, out of their drawer because their drawers are a little bit crowded right now, and making one of them pants and maybe jackets or something like that combination, and then one of them sweaters. It just depends on how much stuff they have. Another common question that I get a lot of the time when I'm redoing a room or reorganizing something is if I labeled the bins. And personally, I am not that into labels. I just don't really like the look of them. I don't like seeing the words, but in some cases like this, it's going to simplify things for my kids because they will know that's their bin. They won't be fighting over it. I will also be able just to walk in and drop something straight into the bin without having to think about it. So this will simplify a lot. But in most cases, when I have a bin, I personally know what's in there. And if it's especially one of my own things, I know what I'm going to be putting in there. I don't need to question it. And usually we don't move things around to the point of a lot of confusion. So we know where things go. But I can understand that labels do help a lot of people. I just personally don't normally use them unless it's really necessary, or if it's in a closet or cupboard that is covered and I'm not going to see the words as I walk through my house. The next tip that I saw that was highly recommended to do every day is actually put things where they go. So we can assign the place where we're going to have the item live. We can get a bin that fits perfectly in that spot. We can add a label, but unless we actually pick up the items that we are done using and put them into the spot where we've decided to assign that item to, it won't stay organized. And I even have to remember this myself because sometimes I feel that the organizing fairy should arrive and just make my home magically look really great and clean and put together. But then it comes down to the fact that we all have to chip in as a family to pick up after ourselves and put items where we've assigned them to live. This tip is a game changer and can be implemented immediately, which is very simple. Never leave a room empty-handed. So if you see something in a room that doesn't belong there or needs to be put away, just grab it as you're already heading in that direction and drop it where it goes. This ladder's a great example. I might have left this out for longer, but I thought I'm going to be heading to my office anyway, so I might as well just take this and put it right where it goes. I have found so many benefits from these organizational tips that I try to implement each day, like saving money because we know all the things that we have in our home and not accidentally buying something that I didn't know I already had. Less stress. I save time because I can find things immediately. My home functions better. It's calmer and I can think more clearly because I know where everything is and I'm not wandering around wasting time looking for things. These are the few things that we do every day to keep our home functioning in a great way and stay organized. If you're new to decluttering, I have a full ebook on how to declutter your home in an efficient way to get that process done and to get organized. I will link all that information in the description box down below. I also have a free email list that you can join today, and I will send out 100 things to declutter, printable, straight to your inbox. Make sure you check that out in the description box. And if you're new here, you can hit the subscribe button and click right here to continue watching more videos. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.